New developments tonight at 5:30. The father of a 5-week-old baby who died in 2012 in court answering to her murder. The trial has not started yet, but the defendant took the stand during today's suppression hearing. NBC 10's Tony Gugliotta is live outside the court to explain what that is. Tony.
First new at 5:30 tonight, Pawtucket police confirmed they are now investigating a homicide in connection to a fatal crash. Today we uncovered a big revelation about the cause of death. Hello everyone, I'm Dan Janik.
And I'm Emily Voles. That fatal crash happened over the weekend. We turn now to NBC 10's Mario Hilario live in Pawtucket. Mario, what have we learned tonight?
But first, new developments tonight on a fatal DUI crash. A judge sentences a Massachusetts driver here to the maximum sentence allowed for his role in a wreck that killed a young couple. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Dan Janik.
And I'm Emily Voles. Today in court, we heard the powerful impact statements from the victims' relatives. NBC 10's Tony Gugliotta was at that hearing. He joins us live in Providence. Tony.
We are back at 5:30 with some new video, quite the video here of this 3-alarm fire. This is in Somerville, north of Boston, and what a scene it was. Take a closer look. Fire destroyed a 9-unit apartment building and then spread to 3 other residences, which were damaged. At one point, a stairwell collapsed. Firefighters were ordered, get out of the building. One person was hospitalized with minor burns. This is an investigation underway at this hour to determine what the cause was. The aftermath you're looking at.
New at 5:30, a disturbing trend on the South Coast this month. At least 5 convenience stores have been robbed with stun guns. Good evening, I'm Emily Voles.
And I'm Dan Janik. Police in at least 3 communities want to know who's behind these brazen holdups. And as NBC 10's Adam Bagney reports, police are now asking for your help. But first, we have new details tonight in a story you saw first on turnto10.com by our web editor, Jessica Botello. A possible new lead in a Warwick murder mystery. John Jack Fay Jr. found dead 3 years ago in this Warwick park. Now, police releasing a composite sketch of what a suspect could look like. Here it is right here. The profile is based on blood and tissue evidence found at that scene. NBC 10's Mario Hilario is live in Warwick. And Mario, do we know anything more about this tonight?
NBC 10 News begins right now with a Storm Team 10 weather alert.
And right now at 5:30, we are tracking Hurricane Matthew, the now powerful Category 4 storm, inching its way towards Florida, with some parts of the East Coast already seeing an impact. We take you live to Florida now. These are the conditions here in the beach community of Lauderdale by the sea. You can see that parts of Hurricane Matthew have made their way to Florida. It looks like some gray skies, definitely some rough seas, maybe even a little bit of rain there. The camera looks a little blurry there. Walt Disney World closing for just the 4th time ever is the park's history as Matthew moves in. Other Orlando theme parks following suit tomorrow, as massive evacuations are underway even at this hour. States of emergency and mandatory evacuations ordered up and down the East Coast from Florida to South Carolina, even parts of Georgia. And President Obama is already declaring a state of emergency for Florida, meaning federal financial aid will be available to help with the recovery. Florida is facing its biggest evacuation ever. And as the U.S. prepares, the islands of the Caribbean are left with cleanup following this historic storm, with officials confirming more than 100 people were killed when the storm hit Haiti. The financial ramifications, those are still unknown. We have complete coverage tonight at 5:30, including Chief Meteorologist Mark Searles with how Matthew could impact us here in southern New England. But first, we turn to Anthony Pura from our sister station WEAR in Florida. He's in Cape Canaveral with a look at the last-minute efforts to prepare as Matthew approaches.
And that weather alert: cities along the eastern seaboard prepare for Hermine as the effects of the storm begin to make their way into southern New England. And those effects are rain, wind, and rough waters. Now, the rain is slowly moving in along southern New England's coastline, but the big story will be high seas for an extended period of time, creating the risk of beach erosion. We have Team 10 coverage on this Monday afternoon, Labor Day, tracking the storm this afternoon. Kerry Corrado's live in Narragansett, where the coastal communities are really feeling the brunt of Hermine. But first, we turn to Storm Team 10 meteorologist Kelly Bates, who's been tracking the storm for us all morning. In fact, really all weekend long. Huh, Kelly?
But first, new at 5:30, homeless wars. A divide is beginning to widen between city groups on what to do about the so-called homeless epidemic in and around Kennedy Plaza in Providence. Representatives of those groups spoke today, and NBC 10's Tony Gugliotta is live in Providence with reaction from all sides. Tony?
We have some big breaking news we have to pass along at 5:30. We are tracking the crashes of two famed military jets at two places and all in the same afternoon. The Air Force is reporting that a Thunderbirds jet crashed following a flyover at the Academy commencement ceremony, and the pilot is a Massachusetts native. President Obama was in attendance but was not in any danger. The pilot, identified as Chelmsford native Major Alex Turner, was able to eject safely. But as you can see, the jet crashed to the ground right there. Turner actually met with the president after the crash, where he was thanked for his service. This, as officials believe, engine failure is to blame. We checked with the Rhode Island National Guard about the Thunderbirds' upcoming air show performance, and they say everything is still a, quote, 100% a go at this time. We don't know if the pilot in this case has or will be in the show at Quonset. We're working on that right now. Also, some more breaking news. Late word that a Blue Angels jet has crashed in Tennessee. That's just outside Nashville. Reports that one person was killed in that crash right now, though it's unclear if it's the pilot. They were in the area practicing ahead of this weekend's Great Tennessee Air Show. Again, our newsroom is very busy right now because we're trying to track the latest developments for you, and we'll have them for you throughout the night right here on NBC 10 and turn10.com.
We begin with breaking news at 5:30. A press conference wrapping up just moments ago in Cranston. City and law enforcement leaders addressing and discussing recent graffiti discovered near basketball and tennis courts. It's a story you saw first and only on 10 yesterday. We turn now to NBC 10's Brian Crandall. He was at the press conference. Brian, what do we know tonight?
The stabbing spree, it happened around 6:30 last night. The first attack happened at a home on Myrick Street, 4 miles from the mall. There, DeRosa attacked two women inside of a home. The victim, identified as 80-year-old Patricia Slavin, was killed. Her daughter, Kathleen Slavin, in serious condition. And right now it appears the victims were randomly targeted.
A preliminary investigation indicates DeRosa then drove to the Silver Galleria Mall, crashing into Macy's and assaulting at least 3 women inside the store. He then walked into Bertucci's. There he stabbed 2 more people, killing George Heath, who was a design teacher at Greater New Bedford Regional Vocational Technical School. Heath is being hailed a hero tonight. We've learned he jumped up trying to stop DeRosa, who was stabbing a waitress identified as Sheena Savoy. Savoy is currently listed in good condition. DeRosa was then shot and killed by an off-duty sheriff's deputy identified as James Creed. DeRosa's motives are unclear tonight, but authorities say he was suffering from depression.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, we continue our team coverage of tragedy there in Taunton. We have 3 reporters covering all angles on the big story. We're going to look at the suspect's history and learn more about the victims. We're also going to hear from the victim's family and the suspect's family. And of course, you can find more comprehensive coverage on turn10.com.
We have new developments now on a fire in Middletown. Authorities now confirming this fire has claimed the life of a 7-year-old child. The story was first breaking on Sunrise this morning. Let's get to NBC 10's Matt Reed. He's been on the story from the beginning and is live in Middletown now with what he knows. Matt?
Decision 2016 news tonight. Wisconsin voters here heading to the polls at this hour to cast their ballot in the primary election. The most important thing at play now is the delegates. So let's take a look at the current totals on the Republican side. Donald Trump leads with 750, followed by Senator Ted Cruz with 481. Governor John Kasich, he only has 143. Now get this, a total of 1,237 delegates needed to win the Republican side. Let's flip it over and talk about the Democrats now. Hillary Clinton has 1,692 delegates right now, while Senator Bernie Sanders comes in with 1,012. Now, in this race, you need a total of 2,383 to win that party's nomination. NBC's Steve Handelsman now with a look at how this race outcome could shape the future of the race for the White House.
To a story you'll see only on 10, a Providence man charged with killing his pet cat. The horrifying details revealed by the man's own child to a school nurse. NBC 10's Carrie Corrado was the only reporter inside the courtroom. She has more on what prosecutors had to say tonight.
Now at 5:30 in our Health Check segment, new details emerging about what's next following the announcement that Memorial Hospital's birthing center will close. Breaking Decision 2016 news at 5:30. Hillary Clinton fighting for a win in California as she unleashes a new attack against Donald Trump. And some new video into us at 5:30 showing the total scale of devastation in the Texas flood emergency, and it's not over yet. Questions arise following Governor Raimondo's trip to California, with some asking what the true purpose of the trip was.
Plus, new video at 5:30 of a stolen school bus, and the age of the driver might surprise you.
Up next, right here on NBC 10 News, Providence firefighters use a surprising tool as they investigate what caused this fatal fire early this morning.
Plus, in our exclusive Health Check segment, we introduce you to one of the top doctors in the state. The surprising way she deals with her patients who are left with some of the most difficult situations.
Questions arise following Governor Raimondo's trip to California, with some asking what the true purpose of the trip was.
Plus, new video at 5:30 of a stolen school bus, and the age of the driver might surprise you.
Up next, right here on NBC 10 News, Providence firefighters use a surprising tool as they investigate what caused this fatal fire early this morning.
Plus, in our exclusive Health Check segment, we introduce you to one of the top doctors in the state. The surprising way she deals with her patients who are left with some of the most difficult situations.
Only NBC 10 cameras are there as tourism leaders meet to discuss what's next in the state's efforts to recreate a new tourism campaign following the cooler and warmer flub.
Plus, the casting choices are in, so who will play the Boston Marathon Bombers in the new Mark Wahlberg-backed film?
Now at 5:30 in our exclusive Health Check, circus elephants in Providence today. But could the study of elephants lead to a breakthrough in helping humans fight cancer?
And breaking political news, protests outside of California's Republican convention as Donald Trump takes the stage. Now at 5:30 in our exclusive Health Check segment, the study of a dog's brainwaves suggests they may truly understand what you, their owners, are saying.
Decision 2016 news tonight at 5:30. The gap closing between Trump and Clinton as new questions emerge about Hillary's time as Secretary of State.
And time-lapse video captures the moment a powerful storm forms in part of Ohio. Now at 5:30, Governor Raimondo's proposed truck toll plan clears a major hurdle. RIDOT announcing today the Federal Highway Administration approved the plan. Now the agency will work to build 13 tolling places across the Ocean State. This is part of a nearly $5 billion roadworks plan. But this doesn't mean it's the end of the battle between the trucking union and the governor. And speaking of the governor, time now for our exclusive Connect to the Capitol segment. Every week we go one-on-one with Governor Gina Raimondo, who joins us live now from the State House. Good evening, Governor.
Now at 5:30, we are connecting to the Capitol once again on a Wednesday night. Good to have you along, everyone. I'm Dan Janey.
And I'm Emily Voles. It's an exclusive segment you will see only on NBC 10. Each week we talk with Governor Gina Raimondo on some of the major issues facing you, the Rhode Island voters.
That's right, and the governor joins us now live from the State House. Governor, good to see you again.